Hey YouTube friends, today I'm going to run a GPU crypto mining setup off solar and battery. So in the last video that I did, we did an ASIC miner connected directly to the battery, and that actually worked. So what the point of that video was to see if we could eliminate the power conversion, which is wasteful, right? So we eliminated an inverter, and we eliminated a DC power supply. So we were able to take those two pieces out that would, chew up probably 20% of our energy, and we were able to connect the ASIC miner directly to the battery, and it worked fine. But today, I'm going to do the same thing, except for with a GPU mining rig, and I'm also going to have everything hooked up to solar as well. So it should be a complete functioning system. And so let me show you what I've got. And please excuse, I use this for a viewfinder because I'm kind of blind and I can't see the one that's on the camera. Anyways, so this is just basically like an industrial PC. It has a real low power Celeron Intel processor. This motherboard, I believe, is and you probably can't even buy these new anymore. It's a ASRock IMB 170. And you could probably find these on eBay. This one, my company uses these, and whenever we have a unit come in, maybe they had a lightning strike or something like that, and something to go bad on it, like the Ethernet ports don't work on this. So they throw it away, and of course, the person that I am, I go digging through and finding little gems and jewels that won't work for our customers, but it'll work for me. I'll find a use for it, and today I am finding a use for it. So the reason why I'm using this motherboard is because it can be powered directly off 12 volts, so you don't have to have a full PC power supply. So with these cables right here, I'm just going to connect it directly to 12 volts. That's kind of the benefit of having an industrial PC motherboard, is because a lot of them just can be powered directly off 12 volts. And inside here I've got an SSD that is loaded with Hive OS. And if you're not familiar with Hive OS, it's just a Linux distribution with mining software on it and an interface to allow you to manage your farm, your mining farm. So if you have a lot of rigs, it's an easy way to manage your mining farms. And it also has all of the mining software and stuff built in. It's really nice. But it's basically just a Debian-based Linux operating system. So you can actually shell into it and load software, extra software and stuff like that, which I have, and I'll get to that in just a minute. This is a GeForce, an NVIDIA GTX 1060. Now this is a 3 gigabyte version one. It is still a profitable GPU to mine on. It can't mine Ethereum, but it can mine Ethereum Classic, and that's what I'm going to mine it with. And the reason why I'm using this is because I do want one that's going to actually produce a profit, but since this is a test, I don't want to use a card that I'm going to potentially blow up. So after this test is a pass, I'll replace this with, I think I got like an extra 2070, an RTX 2070 that can mine Ethereum, and that's a much more profitable GPU. I'll put that in. I might actually put this and that in, so we'll get to that point. This is a GPU riser. If you've ever looked at GPU mining rigs, you'll see these, and they just allow you to plug in the GPUs to the motherboard and have multiple ones suspended, to where you're not cramming them all into a motherboard slot. You can also get these where they have splitters. So if you have a motherboard that has just a couple of PCIe slots, the splitters will turn that into 4 each, and then you'll have 4 PCIe slots. And then this is a data cable that allows me to communicate with the solar charger. And I've loaded a driver on this computer that will make use of that cable. And I've also loaded a program called SER2Net. It's SER, the number 2, NET. And it's just a service that allows me to put this serial connection on my network. That way I can connect to it with the EPEver software to communicate with this charge controller here. So I'll get to this here in just a minute. Then this is just a Wi-Fi adapter. So again, I don't have Ethernet ports that work on this. Didn't need them anyway because I didn't actually intend on plugging this into my Ethernet. I did want it to actually be Wi-Fi, so this works out perfectly fine. It's just a USB Wi-Fi adapter. And then this is the battery pack that we used in the last video where we connected it to the ASIC miner rig. The only change that I've changed here is I put a 30 amp solar charge controller. So it's hooked up to, the battery's hooked up to the battery port on the charge controller. And then the load is hooked up, the load port is hooked up to my bus bars here, which is gonna feed power to my graphics card and my mining rig, okay? And the reason why it's set up that way is because I want the charge controller to be able to switch on and off this load, right? So let's say, you know, it's actually cold here in Texas. You know, we're in fall, which is, we don't really have a fall in Texas. We have, in Texas, we pretty much have summer and we have winter. So basically, we're running into winter, and so this has a temperature sensor on it, and it'll stop. I have it programmed to not charge these batteries if it's freezing outside. I also have it programmed to turn off the load if it's freezing outside, because these are lithium iron phosphate batteries, and we don't want to charge them, and we don't want to draw power from them if it's freezing outside. That will destroy these batteries. And you can see I don't have a BMS hooked up. I have this charge controller programmed to where it's only going to charge about 3.45 per cell. So it kind of stays just at the base of that steep charge curve where things are going to get way out of balance. So I anticipate that I'm not going to really exceed 3.6, 5 or so each cell because of that limiting. I also wanted to keep that voltage down because I don't want it getting too high, because I don't want it to, I don't really want it getting into the 14 volt area. You know, I want to kind of stay away from that, because then we're pushing what these guys are really supposed to take. I also have it set to shut off at a low voltage of, I think I had it set to maybe 11 volts, or I don't remember, but it's like 2.7 volts per cell, something like that. That way I don't over discharge this pack. So if this pack goes too low, the charge controller will shut off the load, which will shut off the mining PC. And so that's what this data cable here also is for, is to connect to this EPEver to where I can get the solar stats from the charge controller. So I'll know what the state of the battery charges. I'll know how much solar power is being produced. I'll know how much power's the mining setup is drawing. I'll know all that stuff. So that's real handy. So that's the main pieces there. I'm going to set it up on this table, and I'm going to let it, we're going to get it going. Hopefully we're going to get it going. We're going to let it run. It's not real sunny outside, so I don't think we're going to be producing a whole lot of power. But we're just going to test it and see how it goes. If this works out really good, my next step would be, I've got this aluminum box here that I would like to put all this into, if I can. And so it's a self-contained unit that can be placed somewhere. One thing that I will have to do is I'm going to have to cut out this and put a fan so I have some active cooling in here, because there's no active cooling. I'll put a little something here to block water from getting in. So this will be modified, and then the next idea I have is get this all self-contained, and I've got a flat spot up on my roof. I would like to just put this up there and lay out some solar panels and somehow anchor them so that the wind doesn't blow them off if we have a big windstorm or something like that. So anyways, there we go. I'm going to set you up here and plug all this stuff in. So here we go. Okay. So everything's plugged in. Question is it working? Computer's on. Looks like the Wi-Fi is connecting. The GPU hasn't spun up yet. We're drawing 7. Wait a minute. We're drawing 7.7 amps. So we got to be doing something. Yeah, I think it's probably working. Let's see what we're getting from the solar. Not getting a whole lot from the solar yet. I think it hasn't reached the point to where it's dragged the batteries down enough to for the charge controller to kick in. Not exactly sure there. Alright, so yeah, the fan on the GPU is going. I think it's probably doing it. So let's go inside and we'll see if we can log on to the interface and see if we're doing stuff. Let's try to connect to the charge controller. So I've got to start this virtual serial port. Says it created it. Let's try the solar monitor software. That didn't work. Okay, so that's not working. Let's see. Oh, I think it's working. Yeah, it's mining. So me see if I can log into it and see why I can't access. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna work now, guys. Oh yeah. So we got data coming from the charge controller. Yeah, there's like a kind of a conflict in drivers, so I've got to work that out. But it's working right now. I had to unload one serial driver in the Hive OS for the serial driver for the EP-Ever serial dongle thingy to work. So I'll get that fixed up, and I'm gonna try to kind of make instructions for you guys if you're interested in doing something like this. But so yeah, we've got like battery state of charge is 95%. We got 108 watts load. Let's see. We've got 100 watts coming in from the solar. Would be nice to have more, but unfortunately, it's crappy outside. There's no real sun. So I don't know. I'm not sure if the charge controller, maybe. Let's see what I've got it set to. Let's read the parameters here. So I've got it set to 110 amp hour capacity, lithium battery protection. That's the cold. That's the like if it gets too cold, it'll turn off the charging and the load to the battery. So you want that on. I got my old overvolt disconnect set to 14.7. Reconnect is 13.8. Boost charge voltage is 13.8. Charge limit is 13.8. So basically I'm not going to go above 13.8 volts. Discharge, it'll draw the battery down to 10.5. I may actually change that to a little bit higher, maybe 11, because I really don't want the GPU probably running at 10.5 volts. I think at 10.5 volts, maybe it will get unstable. I don't know. Maybe we want to keep it around at least 11. I mean, really, I guess it is using power. I mean, the solar's generating 107 watts, and the load is 109. So it's mainly coming from the solar panel, but we're eking out a little power from the battery. Okay, well, I'm going to have to play with those settings a little bit. But as you can see here, we're producing 115 watts from the solar. The mining rig is drawing 108 watts. Well, 111 now. So we're really not using the battery at this moment. We're running directly off the solar. As the sun goes down, then we'll start to be drawing power off the battery. So, but it's working so far.
Video?
Yeah.
Oh, I like your video. I like it.
Thank you.
It's really cool. It's beautiful.
Okay. Okay guys, so yeah, it's all working. We're producing power from the panels. The rig is hashing, and yeah, it's working. So I'm gonna let this run. Actually, I'd like to let it run for a number of days and see what it does. So the idea again behind this is one, why not mine with energy from the sun, and two, the big thing to me is why let's eliminate this power conversion. We don't need inverters, we don't need power supplies when all this equipment already uses DC power. And the GPUs use 12 volts. This motherboard, this industrial motherboard that I've got here, uses 12 volts. The battery system is 12 volts. The charge controller is able to take the DC power from the panels and regulate it down to 12 volts that the battery needs. So we're saving 20% of this free energy, and everything matters when it comes to solar. Okay, like the industrial motherboard, I actually went into the BIOS and I disabled everything, any kind of port that I wasn't going to be using, and I think I've got that down to where the computer itself uses roughly about 20 watts. I actually think we can find some computers that will do a lot less than that. And so anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, please. That really helps me out. Also, I've got some more batteries on order for you guys that I'm going to do a test with. So don't think I've jumped ship and went straight crypto stuff. I do like crypto. I'm invested in crypto. I've probably got about 20% of my assets in crypto. I'm a believer in it. If you are, that's fantastic. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think it's a smart thing to be in. But not trying to turn the channel into a crypto channel. I'm actually just mining crypto with some solar power. I know there's a lot of guys out there that are interested in this. Voss, I watch your stuff all the time. I enjoy it. I know you're doing a lot of tours of people with their solar, mining setups, and I know you're interested in doing it yourself. I think it's a worthwhile journey, man. Why not take all this free power that the sun's providing us and use it to mine our cryptocurrency? Then nobody has anything to complain about. We'll satisfy Elon. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next video. The next video will be a battery video. I know how you guys love battery videos. I do too. I think they're fun. I'm always looking for the next set of batteries that I can test for you guys and tell you whether or not, if I put my stamp of approval on it. And I'm always on the lookout for really great deals. I know you guys want batteries, and I know you guys want batteries that are affordable. Of course, you don't want to, spend an arm and a leg. You want this stuff to be within reach, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring it to you. So anyways, I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one.